वो दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
अगर ये भी कहते हो कि मेरा स्वभाव ही ऐसा है, ये कौन सा स्वभाव है? बाप दादा वाला स्वभाव है। इसको भी मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम नहीं कहेंगे, साधारण पुरुष कहेंगे, मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम नहीं। और सदैव ऐसे हो जो सुनने वाले छात्र को ये कुछ बोले और हम सुने। इसको कहा जाता है अनमोल महावाक्य। महावाक्य सदैव ज्यादा नहीं होते, जब चाहे तब बोलता रहे, उसको महावाक्य नहीं कहेंगे। बच्चे, मैं आपके सदा साथ हूँ।
Om Shanti. Maryada Purshottam. Highest Brahmins who are higher than the deity souls. Brahmins are said to be the most elevated. To be the most elevated means to be the highest of all beings. It means to be higher than ordinary human souls. A soul is said to be a being, Purush. So to become an elevated soul means to become an elevated being out of all beings. Deities are said to be the most elevated because they are deity souls. You are the highest Brahmins who are higher than the deity souls. You imbibe all codes of conduct in your life and stay in spiritual intoxication. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today is day 28. Maryada Purshottam. Highest Brahmins who are higher than the deity souls. Today we'll be taking Maryada 16, connection with the Yajna. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Everything has so much connection. Our Avyakti point signal is about being deity at confluence age, becoming deity. We are deity souls in golden age. but also we are celebrating 9 nights of goddesses. And of course, you all having good time afterwards having Garba. But for me, when I am listening to just few minutes of interpretation, explanation about different symbols of every goddess, and yesterday when they said, invoke Parvati in you. So for me, it is like every goddess is the symbol of some divine virtues. That is why they are worshipped. And they are shown with so many weapons plus decoration ornaments. So it's like they could destroy whatever is negative. They can destroy whatever are the obstacles. So that is one thing, Even this morning's blessing, Baba said, be ever ready. Anything can happen anytime. So power to destroy through power of yoga, anything, but also bring divinity where you can transforming yourself. That is something very important. But today I was thinking that invocation is very important. Actually, any idol, when they install it in a temple, at least for 24 hours, some for 1 week, they invoke life in that. Lot of ceremony, lot of celebration. And after 1 week, they say now, this one, whether Hanuman or any idol they install, they say now it has life. That means your prayer will be heard, your desires will be fulfilled. So invocation. So invoking, so then I realized that a few days ago when Baba said drill of 5 forms, suddenly my attention went and I thought that's something we should warn. We did it and then some or other now we're not playing it. But that could also be, Baba said 8 times, if not 8 times, at least 3 times, invoking in yourself all those 5 forms. And so there has to be this whole feeling of invocation, like invocation of goddess is happening. But within us also invocation of that divinity, invocation of what Baba is saying, that your nature should be like Bab Dada. So invoking that nature in us also, because Baba said you cannot say my nature. Baba said, which nature now? Your nature should be like Bab Dada. So it's very interesting to see the deep connection of 9 nights of goddesses and our efforts of becoming that deity soul or feeling, having intoxication at confluence age. I'm a deity soul. I'm becoming deity. I am Purshottam. That intoxication is important. So I think we can really take it like do it and experience it, not just pass the day in an ordinary way, because very easy. There is always so much to do in actions that we could keep ourselves just very occupied. But in between, because that is the aim actually, why we talk one night before, so that next morning, the avyakt signal which we get from Madhuban. And that is what it meant, connection with Yagya. Whatever directions, whatever spiritual homework, whatever we get clear directions from Madhuban. So it's not we doing different kind of practices. I know there are some, they start doing like different kind of bhattis, but we have to do it properly, what comes from Madhuban. That is why I really appreciate the beautiful points which we are getting as avyakt signal from Madhuban, so that it meant that connection with Madhuban is there. And that's only possible, no, if you are connected with the center and then you are connected with Madhuban. So you are able to follow, then practice it. So I thought that is so practically we are saying these goddesses. So brothers might say, what about us, right? I think that when it comes to Shiv Shakti is not only female, right? Shakti is for both. For Pandavas, is for the soul actually. Shiv Shakti is the soul, not necessarily female form. So it's for everyone. We have to remember that I have to have that power. It's very, very important. So look at the goddess when you look today, that what is being explained about that goddess. And two powers, destroying. In every goddess, they have some have trident, some have sword, different kinds of weapons are shown, and they are of the knowledge, yoga, divine power. And other side, cultivating is also very, very important. So I think this whole thing of being divine is simple, you know. When I think of that, any virtue which we are using with purity, with power of yoga, is divine virtue. A lot of people in Lokic world have a lot of tolerance, or they are very loving. But with us, it's the purity first, and then every virtue. And that is different, right? Because when there is our love is towards the souls, it's a spiritual love. Our care is also different than Lokic care. Because in our care, we do lot of Mansa Seva. Whatever we are sharing is also Baba's love. It's not just I love someone, Baba loves everyone. And because Baba loves everyone, I love everyone too. So it's a kind of godly love, spiritual love, which is generally different than the Lokic love. Our sharing, helping, everything is spiritual. Because we are doing it, not creating any karmic accounts, but rather we are doing it and creating a spiritual relationship. Because at confluence stage, we are doing both, right? We are settling and also creating. So best way to settle is through service. I remember when someone said, either serve or suffer. Suffer means somewhere you settle, right? Let's say you have a lot of waste thoughts about someone, something you are settling, right? So it's a suffering. So there could be different sufferings. But if I serve, and that's why I always remember when Didi said that through karma yoga, settle karma bhoga. That means if sometimes it does happen, your body doesn't want to, is tired or not too well. But when you start serving in whatever way, very simply, but just serve. And really, really, you will find you doing double, settling and also creating something for the future. And there is no suffering because, you know, sometimes like very simple thing, you say, okay, today I can't do anything. I can just go cut the vegetables. I know that many souls, when they come to Peace Village, they feel so good about it, you know, or somewhere, something, whatever body you are able to do through actions or karma yoga is also very important. So becoming divine is both powers, power to destroy and power to create. Because every step when you try to be divine or you are divine, at confluence stage, there is always devil somewhere in some form. But we know that, no, I have to destroy that. Any kind of obstacle come, I have to be destroyed. You cannot allow the obstacle to overcome you and make you do anything which is not right. Whether it's breaking Maryada or any kind of action which is not according to Baba Srimad. So those obstacles will come while becoming divine, and we have to destroy them. And they will destroy because you have power. You have power of yoga, you have power of purity, you have power of knowledge, so many powers, all 8 powers, right? So that's what we have to look at, becoming divine. Om.
Om Shanti.
Om
Didi.
Shanti.
Nice to see you. Om Shanti, everyone. Avyakti Parivar. It's a pleasure to be back. Unfortunately, it's because Shireen has no internet and Florida is having this weather event. So anyways, sending good wishes to her. I really appreciate this evening, and I really appreciate when it happened a few months ago that the Avyak signals from Madhuban became our daily practice on Avyakti Parivar, but because it made me feel so close to Madhuban. I wasn't doing 2, 3 things or 3 things, it was just one direct line. And I feel this one direct line to the yajna is what you, our seniors, our centers create. They create this one direct line, and yet we're in a time when people are quite sustained on Zoom. I'm even thinking our Murli class here, it is so vibrant and so interesting every morning because everybody can come by Zoom. Those that live far away in the region, they're not stepping away from another center. They just would have been on their own, but now they can come by a Zoom. It's so sustaining that it's very enjoyable and everybody comes every day. But I can see that. And the connection to the yajna, I think, is very strong through that because we're churning Murli, we're together in a very accurate way. But I can also see there's less of a pull to come to the center because the sustenance is so good on Zoom. Is that a problem, do you think? Or is it okay that we are finding ways to sustain ourselves and stay connected via these other methods?
Baba's home has very, very powerful presence and vibrations of Baba. And like after a long time, when souls, Baba's children, start coming, they really feel a lot of power by coming. So I would just suggest that as many times, maybe you cannot go every day, but at least, the Janki always recommended at least twice a week, Thursday and Sunday, or possibly weekend, one should make effort to go to the center, to be in the gathering with the family and the vibrations of the place. And also you get Brahma Bhojan, right? Some hope also. So I think it is necessary to have that, create that physical presence. I know that some are very far. These days, especially like in USA, we don't have center in all the cities. And so wherever if center is near, one should really take advantage of that. There was a time people used to drive 45 minutes, 1 hour to come. So they might feel less, keen on driving and then, but I think it is worth doing it because when you go there, the love, the family, the together in gathering, doing yoga, I think many benefits are there. So I'm sure that every Baba's child would love to and should make effort to reach the Baba's home, sacred space, to feel those vibrations so that you sustain. There will be difference, definitely, than being on Zoom and coming in present. Right?
Definitely. And even Avyakti Parivar, as sustaining as it is, it's an addition to our regular center life, which puts us practically in contact with each other. So we're actually in the family, not watching the family.
Actually, we had been encouraging people also to go to center. It's very important to go. And a Vyakti Parivar is additional sustenance in the afternoon, but in the mornings, always good to listen to Murli wherever you are connected. Something very, very important. Yeah.
You know, this little place of Halifax, we only have one Hindu temple here. And I remember when I first visited the temple, I saw all of the deities together because they have to live together because there's only one temple. And I remember thinking, oh, that's a memorial of us, that we all live together, you know, so they feed all the deities there at the same time. And, you know, each night they have a different puja, of course, but they're all there at the temple together. So I really like that. Today's Murli, you know, Baba made the point, you have to go through Brahma Baba. And even though in Raj Yoga, it is about our direct connection with God, with Shiva, it's not only about our direct connection with Shiva. It's also about our direct connection with humanity and with our deity family. Can you speak a little bit more about how significant that is, Brahma's part in connecting us practically to the yajna?
Shiv, connection of intellect, soul with Supreme Soul. But when Baba gives the knowledge, because at confluence age, it's important that Shiv Baba is giving knowledge through the mouth of Brahma Baba. So we are actually his children, mouth progeny children, Baba's children, Brahmins. But not only that, but when it comes to taking drishti, you know, how you take drishti from point of light. So we take drishti either from Sakar Baba, Brahma Baba, or we take from Avyak Bab Dada. And then when it comes to implementation of that knowledge and becoming deity or Brahmin, we need to follow. So Brahma Baba's action and Brahma Baba's directions is the clear pathway to follow what Baba did, I have to do. Now, Baba was in family, he surrendered. But then what he did, next step, third step, how he became trustee. So every step in life for us as Baba's child, as Brahmin, as BK, we need to follow, right? So when Baba says you cannot do without Brahma, because then how do you going to follow incorporeal God? So Murli is spoken through Brahma Baba, right? And then directions are given by Brahma Baba. Karma Yogi, life lived by Brahma Baba, I have to follow. So I don't think we can, you know, just say, okay, no, I have no connection with Brahma Baba. Yajna is created by Brahma Baba, right? But we eat Brahma Bhojan, right? Not Shiv Bhojan. So that means the people put whatever contribution Baba's box, but then it is cooked and offered, and then it becomes Brahma Bhojan. So I think in so many contexts, it's like we used to ask Mama. Mama said, I cannot separate them because Shiv Baba speaks through Brahma Baba. Brahma Baba speaks of Shiv Baba. So it's like they are together, you know. So when they are together, that's why we call them Bab Dada, right? Or Mat Pita, mother, father, Bab Dada. So we cannot separate them. But of course, you know, when we sit in yoga, our intellect is with Shiv Baba, right? But when it comes to practically following or listening to Murli, it's Brahma Baba, right?
So unlike the prophet souls who were middlemen for us between God, you know, Brahma is more a practical demonstration. He doesn't interpret God for us. He shares his direct experience and we follow him practically. very different, but takes us into close connection with each other. Because even though he surrendered his family, he created a family, created a huge family. So it's always about being in family, isn't it? How would you advise coming close to the seniors, especially now, this late in the confluence age? You know, we had the fortune of, I don't see you physically very often, and yet I feel very close to you. You know, but there was a time where we could see each other quite often, less so now, and the yajna is so big. What's the best way for people to come close to the seniors?
We have to communicate, Even sometimes some people say, oh, I don't write, I don't call because you are so busy. But I feel it is important to communicate. And then also in the life, one is taking direction to kind of confirm what you are thinking, but also the blessings are also very important. So communicate these days, like through email. Like Sister Jayanti was there and she said, oh, I have 165 emails to do. It's just even 2 lines we reply. So I think that connection is also very important, not through just mind, but also practically. When that connection is there, then also in the life you have certain time when you want to make some major decisions, right? So blessings are important. And also if you had been kind of regular connection, it becomes very easy to understand where you are, what kind of help you need, what answer to give. So it has to be consistent, whether it is about the center, it is about your own personal major things, or like anything we are planning which is big, and then it's always good to involve seniors there. I think then it works very easy. Your mind will be light and you will know I got the blessings, I got the clearance. So it does definitely help. And as I said, well, we are not able to meet, right? But I know now so many souls, it's such a connection that you can immediately answer and see what help they need. And, so at present is basically through email. It's not, but if we can meet once or twice, either in Madhuban or Peace Village or somewhere, definitely helps also.
It's really like in any relationship, just keeping it open, keeping the door open, keeping the flow of energy going so the soul gets that support. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you.
Appreciate. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So I'm reading this again, if that's okay. And I know we'll hear it again. So it's really good. It stays. So Maryada Purshottam for tonight, highest Brahmins who are higher than the deity souls. Brahmins are said to be the most elevated. To be the most elevated means to be the highest of all beings. It means to be higher than ordinary human souls. A soul is said to be a being, Purush. So to become an elevated soul means to become an elevated being out of all beings. Deities are said to be the most elevated because they are deity souls. You are the highest Brahmins who are higher than the deity souls. You imbibe all codes of conduct in your life and stay in spiritual intoxication. Om Shanti.
Maryada Purshottam, higher than the deity souls. Brahmins are said to be the most elevated. To be the most elevated means to be the highest of all beings. It means to be higher than ordinary human souls. A soul is said to be a being, Purush. So, to become an elevated soul means to become an elevated being out of all beings. Deities are said to be the most elevated because they are deity souls. You are the highest Brahmins who are higher than the deity souls. You imbibe all codes of conduct in your life and stay in spiritual intoxication. मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम, देव आत्माओं से भी ऊंचे, ब्राह्मणों को ही पुरुषोत्तम कहा जाता है। पुरुषोत्तम अर्थात पुरुषों से उत्तम, साधारण मनुष्य आत्माओं से उत्तम। पुरुष आत्मा को भी कहते हैं श्रेष्ठ आत्मा बनने वाले, अर्थात पुरुषों से उत्तम पुरुष बनने वाले देवताओं को भी पुरुषोत्तम कहते हैं, क्योंकि देव आत्माएं हैं। आप देव आत्माओं से भी ऊंचे ब्राह्मण सर्व मर्यादाओं को जीवन में धारण कर रूहानी नशे में रहने वाले हो। ओम शांति। Do that. Let's go to Madhuban. There are just few things left and we'll be completing our visit to Madhuban. So let's welcome to Vikti Journey Shantivan, where lives become as valuable as diamonds. Welcome, angels.
Ever ready? तो जो भी आए हैं वो मधुबन के श्रृंगार।
जिसमें खुशबू रूहानी थी प्यारी, देखा माली अपने गुलशन में। ओ एक बाबा मिले मधुबन में, शिव
अनुभव बड़ा निराला है, तुम्हारे साथ का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है, मिले न स्वर।
कराची में जब पहले बाबा के पास ओम मंडी में आए, अभी वो सीन सामने मेरे आ गए। सभी प्यारे थे साकार बाबा के। ऐसा भवन बनाने के लिए बहुत प्रेरणा होती थी, क्योंकि देश है एक के संबंध से न्यारा हो करके परमात्मा के प्यारा में क्या बनना है। नष्टो मोहा स्मृति लभता, नष्टो मोहा ये स्थान, नष्टो मोहा और स्मृति कौन सी हो गए, तो स्मृति जब मैं बाबा की बाबा मेरा।
Om Shanti. Good night. Om Shanti. Good night.